Hi, Vincent.
Hello.
Have you had a productive day? I believe you've posted a few logs, log
Yes, I
posts.
I did have a productive day. I
You,
posted 2 Noahide blogs and I posted 3 things about fucking Hindus.
I, a bit hate speech. They could fall foul of the hate speech rules, maybe.
Maybe let's say I'm willing to take. You read them?
I read one of them and I thought, oh dear,
Well, I
is
have to
it
start.
necessary?
Yes, somebody has to do it. I want to skirt this because I'm really angry and something needs to be done because these fucks are taking over and they are just fucked up people. I'd rather Muslims take over than these fucking people, and I'm totally 100% honest. Like, I totally support Muslim terrorism against these people, even though I don't support Islam and I wouldn't pay Muslims. I spent 10 years of my life trying to save these people from Muslim terrorism. And like, yes, now I would tell Muslims to do it. You know what I would do? I would advocate not to give the Muslims money, but I would advocate not doing anything about it from the West. And that's actually what I'm going to start doing about it. And that's not that's not supporting Islam because okay, like at the same
You're
time,
just saying you're going to be indifferent to any acts of violence
I would
that seem
encourage
to be
no, I would
occurring on
encourage
both
them.
sides.
Well, I don't know what I can say on your let's take that back. I wouldn't encourage them, but to be
You're just
honest,
going to refrain from expressing sympathy
um I
for the victims.
I would advocate to do nothing.
Did anything happen today to make you
I got an
angry?
email from this guy, Ron Banerjee, who finally came out as a homophobe, who I had worked with all this time. And he's big with the Jews, big with the Zionists, and he's a homophobe. And I didn't know that. And he never told me that. And I got mad. But no, no, no. Look, I spent 10 years of my life helping Hindus, and they turned out to be fucking assholes. And I'm taking all that back. And they have a lot of power. And to be honest, I helped in that. I helped Hindus rise to power in the last 10 years because, I had Hindus for Trump and I had Justice for Hindus, which was a big Hindu organization. I was a blogger for Hindus for a long time. I ran a lot of Hindu pages. I was on Indian TV sometimes. I was in kind of like a major Hindu newspaper front cover. My picture was right there. And I wasn't a nobody in Hinduism. I know a lot of people like being on my email list that I send out all this Hindu hate mail. I have BJP ministers and different things like that. And I really helped these people and gave them spotlight. And now they're becoming rock stars in America. And it's way worse than just Vivek Ramaswamy and Dr. Shiva running for president. Oh, Dr. Shiva is not a Hindu. Um, um,
Isn't he? What is he then?
I think he's Christian, um,
Hmm.
though I don't know. Let's look him up. But let me finish that. I cannot stress these people. They hover in the cities and they hover in um, in swing states. So people are like, oh, they're only 1% of the population. What are they going to do? No, but they swing states. They swing Florida. They swing Pennsylvania. They swing and then they also swing districts. They also swing districts. Even they're in swing counties, so it's not just swing states, but they're in swing counties as well. So they're really being sought after. They're also the most educated and richest class in America, and if you are above them, and they're very obsequious, and they will donate a lot of money to their masters, and they're very smart, and they have lots of education and lots of connections, and they're very dangerous, and they're very Zionist, the Hindu ones, and they are working for the Zionists, and they don't care about the Noahide laws. They've gone to Israel, asked for Noahide status. Large groups of large Hindu organizations have done this, not nobodies, and And this is a really big problem. And these people really hate white people.
Um,
Look,
so, I mean,
oh,
I
let me
still
finish. Let
don't.
me just finish because I am
Okay.
angry. These people, and it is important to get this out. This is my new message to the world. I mean, this is even more important than Noahidism itself, almost. You know that, but you know what? Anyway, continue. I totally forgot what I was going to say there, but go ahead.
Um. Well, let's try to help you finish what you were saying about why
Well,
you're so
well,
angry with the Hindus, and
um,
I, yeah,
oh, and yeah, they're working for the Noahide agenda. They don't care about the Noahide laws. Like I said, it's more than not caring. It's asking for Noahide status. And I've moved in their organizations. All the American organizations are saturated at the top with Jews. They are in tons of interfaith dialogue with rabbis, and they are 100% controlled by both left wing and right wing Jewry, and they like it and they want it to stay that way. And they are very anti-white, because remember, white people colonized India, and they're very racist. And um it's just, and I have an additional hate for them because they're homophobic, they're irrational, they're superstitious, they're misogynistic, they are um, unsanitary, and like medical quack cures and stuff like that. Like, that kind of stuff does bother me. I'm sorry, it does bother me if you're instructing someone to eat cow shit to get over COVID. No, I don't. I'm gonna say your culture's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Is it a kind of Hindu cure-all?
it wasn't.
My
Well, not
liking.
all of them did it, but there were Hindus eating cow shit to get over COVID.
And you're saying that you regret helping them get into such a position of influence, that you
Yes.
were, uh, um, and your activism was significant in getting them to a position of influence because you thought they were the underdog and needed help.
I thought
Well,
that they were polytheists, the underdog. I thought they were nice. I thought they were scientific. I thought that they were basically morally relativistic. And they're really none of that. And I thought they were open to gays and women, and they're not. And it's getting worse. The thing is that the older Hindus were a little bit wanted to please the West, and were not homophobic and not misogynistic, and not really following the culture as much, because they wanted to get jobs in corporations, and they didn't want to be seen as fucking assholes and like right wing, homophobic, women hating, like parasites. But now the younger generation, now that homophobia is becoming more acceptable and misogyny is becoming more acceptable, the younger Hindus are becoming way right wing in these regards, and are really hating gays and women. And it's just coming out. And I realize that Hinduism is not a liberal religion, and people need to get that out of their head, especially these liberal white people going over there and helping them. But also, let me tell you, I know people are like, "Oh, well, Hinduism's based, then it's anti-gay, it's anti-women, it must be based." But it's soft polytheism. The thing, it's not hard polytheism. And Christians won't understand this, but if you are a hard polytheism, it's about maintaining moral relativism. That's what it's about. It's about being honest that morals are subjective and not universal, and preventing universal values. And um yeah, preventing universal values. And Hinduism is not hard polytheism, it's soft polytheism, which means that it's really monotheism, which means that it's really the many gods really are one, and there are universal values in Hinduism. And
and what are
um,
they?
and so it's Noahide compliant, and that's why it will side with the monotheists when the war breaks out. It'll side with the Noahide laws naturally, because it is naturally in its theology a Noahidic religion, even if it is Shatuf. And I know some rabbis say Shatuf is not permissible, but still.
So the danger you feel is for your the danger you feel for your country is that these people can be unprincipled? Is that what you're saying?
Claire, I can't hear you.
Oh, can't you hear me? Oh dear.
Hold on, wait. Let me hold on. Wait, I'm gonna come back in, okay? Let me leave.
All right. Can people hear me? Ha ha ha. Yes, yes, yes. I can see my my avatar pulsating, so I know I am making sounds that are detectable. What I wanted to say when I suggested the stream was in response to the topics being discussed on Stephen J. James's stream, which has just ended. Hello. There's an echo. There's an echo, Vincent. It's gone now. There's not much going on at the moment. I was going to start talking about the subject.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. But I cannot stress enough the danger of this. If you want to see, I've been writing on this. It's on Bruno's blog m.blogspot.com. BRUNOSBLOGM.blogspot.com. And it's the last few ones you'll see on Hinduism. Which of my articles did you read? Which one was it?
The Banerjee one.
Oh, you read the Banerjee one?
Well, I didn't read it that carefully. But yeah, I know you don't like the guy. And he's a Zionist. And he cursed him you behind your back. I suppose you're saying that they're fundamentally dishonest and but you say you favour Muslims above Hindus. I remember asking you this question some time ago and you said the other way. Would you like to explain your change of mind?
Wait, I said Muslims are above Hindus, I said?
No, you said, I asked this question, if America had to endure an Asian takeover, which would be worse?
Oh, Hindu. Oh no, any day, I'd rather fight the Muslims than the Hindus, and that's why. Look, I said I would not get in the way of Muslims attacking Hindus, and I'm only putting that to euphemism for something else I'd like to say, but I don't want your stream to get cut down. So I'm basically being neutral, but I'm actually in the other direction, and but like, so, I would rather. I'm saying, let them deal with each other over there so that they can't immigrate here.
Okay, I understand that you bear certain antipathy towards a particular group. I guess it's only to be expected in a way because we are often forced to mix with lots of groups. Certainly, and the experience may not be particularly pleasant. But could you explain again why you have you are so definite in your preference for one group over the other?
Because Hinduism is more tricky. it's it actually could even be a better Noahide religion than Islam because it's more deceptive, because white people might actually think they're doing the right thing and not being an Abrahamic religion, because the Abrahamic religion is not white, and thinking they're basically getting the most white polytheistic religion possible, but it's actually Noahidism but slow kill. And I'd rather white people just wake up with Islam than go to sleep with Hinduism. Hinduism like slowly puts you to sleep until you're poisoned and dead.
Hmm. I mean, can you give an example of what you fear?
Well,
Um,
it's soft polytheism, and they're all in bed with the Noahide laws, and I'm scared that white people are just going to be like, oh, this is safe. It's not Islam, and it's a new religion that can help the West and help the white race, and it's really not,
but how would you know?
because
I'm just plain.
it's soft polytheism. I don't want anything close to Noahidism.
So self polytheism is a yes and no religion? Is that?
Soft polytheism really is monotheism. It's really bullshit. It's so fucking stupid to have this definition, hard and soft polytheism. You're either a
I
polytheist.
only heard it from you.
I know, but I research these things, and you know what I mean. To say, oh, there's many gods but they're all united is monotheism. Don't play games. Like, you're a monotheist. Don't play games with your definitions.
So it's not your term. It's actually a terminology invented by somebody else.
Yes, yes. Why does everyone think I make up words? I don't understand. I use very common words, and people are like, "Did you make this up?" And I'm like, "No." I always get accused of that, and I never do that. I never make up words. You know what I mean?
Okay, I mean it's a new thing for me, so I'm still trying to get my head around this soft, why you hate one more than the other, and you dislike soft polytheism because you think it leads to monotheism, and you
Yes,
favor hard polytheism.
yes, where the gods are separate and distinct.
But it will be hard to. I mean, people will kind of be seduced into this, yes and no situation. I want to
Well,
be able
that's
to
why
say
I'm
yes or
scared,
no.
Claire. That's why I'm scared. Islam is like abrupt in your face, make a choice, like and scares people. And this comes off as like innocuous and good, and that's bad, Claire.
Well, you see, I think a rabbi really, a rabbi would be able to instinctively tell the difference. So a righteous rabbi, seeking to be true to his religious principles, will kick out Hinduism and say Islam is the most no-hide. He wouldn't even be toying with, saying that Hindus could be no-hides. It would be, well, unprincipled. Because it's right at the bottom. I mean, the thing is, that they're so not doing their job. And I think these conceptual blunders um, causes people to just choose the wrong moral system,
Uh,
or not notice that they have the wrong system, or
Actually,
not
Claire,
care.
Maybe these people are just smarter than you and said, you know what? If they're not going to accept Islam, we can conquer white people with Noahidic Hinduism, and because it's more of a cloaking device. So now Noahidism is cloaked in Hinduism. That's a smart way to Noahidize things for whites.
Oh, I think it's a bit difficult to understand. I mean, okay, as far as I'm concerned, the four rankings that I produced, I think it's objective. I mean, I think anyone reasonable would agree with my ranking that Christianity's most and Christianity's the least no hide. And but because of I've already asked quite a few people, they don't quite agree with my ranking, and they have their own, peculiar reasons for ranking it in a different way. So I guess my big task is to get the rabbis to agree, and it's going to be hard because they don't want to. They don't want to talk about these things. But today I met a rabbi. No, is he a rabbi? I'm not sure. But anyway, he's a Jew and he's promoting the no height laws. And it seems we know a few people. We know a few neutrals, or he seems to know the rabbis I'm talking about. But unless we all sing from the same hymn sheet, it's not going to work. It's not going to work that some rabbis are going to say Islam is no hide, and others say no, and all kinds of silly things, and that is really the problem with so many of our political and social problems. There is no final authority, and people are saying yes and no at the same time, and it's driving everyone crazy. And so I don't think what you fear will. Okay, I mean, you people who don't like secular Quranism will be able to say, yes, we can have secular Quranism, but things will just go bad, and you will have corrupt people, and they will do horrible things, and it'll be worse than things are now. I mean, they can say all these things, but I'm saying, look, we have to concentrate on the theory, right? If only the theory were correct, then only then should you consider putting your theory into practice, but not the theory in itself makes sense. And I'm saying the ranking makes sense, but it's going to be a job getting the people to agree and getting the rabbis to agree. And well, I know Constantine had a terrible time, with the Arians and the Athanasians. So, what am I trying to say? I'm saying Americans really need to avert this takeover and tidy up their rooms. And there was this 10-point post.
I don't know, Claire. The more I think about this, Hinduism with the seven Noahide laws added to it is pretty scary. I think that could get somewhere, and that's why I'm starting to rev up about this, because I'm starting to see that I'm starting. I mean, they are such fanatical Zionists, and they are so apologetic for the Noahide laws, and they are in such contact with the rabbis, and they are much more loyal to Jews and Israel than they are to the West, that they are absolutely dangerous.
Why are they
And
so loyal to Israel? I don't see
because
them.
they feel like Jews are this persecuted minority that never did anything wrong to them and didn't invade them. And so they're buddy buddy, tell me the two persecuted people of the world.
Okay, I think maybe that they're only doing it because America kind of has made a mascot of Jews, and they're just, getting with the program and thinking this is what Americans want. Americans seem to worship
It
Jews,
runs
so we better
deeper than
do the
that.
same thing too.
No, it runs deeper than that, and they're not responding to the growing anti-Semitism growing in the West. They're not going to be on our side. They are going to side with the Jews, and they're going to stab white people in the back.
Well, then you have to divide Jews, right? You have
No,
to.
no. I look. The stab in the back is coming anyway. I'm just trying to accelerate it by talking about it. This cannot be undone. It. I'm just trying to make it go faster so people wake up faster.
Well, maybe it's just too many ideas for them. I mean, I can
Why?
barely keep
Noahide law
up.
plus Hinduism is very easy. That it's just Hindu culture plus the seven Noahide laws.
Well, the fact is nobody talks about it. Do
But
they? I mean, is there an
well, no,
article anywhere
no
that you can show me?
no the Hindus don't necessarily talk about it, but they apologize for it if it comes up. And and the rabbis are becoming more interested in manipulating Hinduism. Yes, they are. So the rabbis are leading this. It's not necessarily the Hindus leading it, but they just kind of follow suit and do what they're told.
This reminds me of these ultra Orthodox rabbis saying, it's terrible the way these other rabbis are being so unprincipled that they go to churches and they, entertain Christians in their synagogues, and they're just being basically too friendly with Christians, and the Orthodox, the ultra Orthodox, are complaining about others apparently like them. And Rabbi Mizrachi is always going on about how it doesn't matter, how bushy his beard is and whatever. You really have to listen carefully to what they say, because most of these rabbis, and he's talking about the Orthodox, are heretics, and he uses the analogy of poison in pure water and that sort of thing, and saying only the late Rabbi Avigdor Miller says things correctly and everybody else is wrong, more or less. So, but I mean, okay, Rabbi Mizrachi is only one, and he's got only another, Yaron Reuven, who is a bit of a thug. But I think it's easy to be a purist if you can explain things clearly, and you understand the basis of my ranking, don't you? Or do you quarrel with it? Do
No, I think it's
it makes
pretty.
sense?
Yes, it does. I mean, yeah, I think Hinduism is like number 3. What do you put? Buddhism number 2?
Yes, because it's supposed to be atheist, even though I know in practice there are all these Buddha idols and people do pray to them. But if you examine the Buddhism, the philosophy of Buddhism, it is just a philosophy, and it's just codified the morality of Hinduism, and taken the nasty caste system out of it. So it's kind of, made safe and purified and, whatever. But I mean, some people think it's boring because, it hasn't got all the idols, I guess.
It's just yeah, no, this is this is really bad, and I'm going to be focusing on this because um
Hmm.
people have to know. People have to know what these and they're just fucking assholes, those people in general. They're just fucking asshole liars, and they don't say anything to your face, and they do everything behind your back, and they pretend to be so nice to you. And then, then they just abandon you when and then they're so they're all homophobic and talking nasty shit about me and stuff like that. So, and they're racist, and they're just horrible.
What about Muslims? I mean, have you met, enough of both members of these
No,
religions to make a comparison?
I never associate with Muslims. I've always avoided them. I don't associate with Jews. I mean, when I was younger and I was in high school, and before I really totally crystallized my opinion on Jews, I hung out with secular Jews. Um, but I never hung out with religious Jews, obviously, but they're harder to hang out with. But no, um,
So I guess, if you're really going to deal with the Hindus, I guess you'd have to form an alliance with the Muslims, right? I mean, does that make sense or not?
not an alliance, but give them allowance and stop getting in their way and let them do what they want to do. That's I don't want to send them money, and I don't want to like go fight their battle for them, but if they want to go do that, then let them.
Are you talking about Muslims?
Yes, let them go ahead and do what they want to the Hindus. You know, let
Okay, I
them.
mean, I think it's fair enough. You know, you're not supposed to care for all the starving children of the world and whatever. You know,
No, those people deserve it. They deserve it, and they're a threat. And the less of them there are, the better. So, I totally 100% support it. And yes, I would rather fight Islam than Hindus because Muslims are dumb and they're like, throwing rocks. And Hindus are very educated, very intelligent, very clever, very sneaky, very snaky, and they are disarming. Nobody thinks they're a threat. Nobody even gives them a consideration of being dangerous, and nobody has studied them or analyzed them because they're very quiet. They keep a low profile. They're not in your face. They're not like openly trying to evangelize people. That's very much changed. They are trying to evangelize people, and people are just converting to it in droves.
converting to no Haidism.
No, to Hinduism. Claire, you can never follow a conversation. You always
Well,
get
I just don't think people are converting. Okay, well, it's news to me.
people are converting to Hinduism. If you don't think there's an uptake in Hindu conversions in the West, then you're not paying attention, Claire.
I guess not.
Yes, Claire, it's becoming very popular. Maybe not everyone converts, but the topic is becoming popular.
Well, because of Vivek Ramaswamy.
No, Claire, look, I mean, you focused on secular Quranism. Maybe if you focused on other things, you would notice this, but, like, you kind of just go in and you talk about what you want to talk about, but if you observe them, you know, Hinduism is starting to creep into white culture. Yes, it is.
Really? Okay, I haven't noticed that. I mean, what do you mean by
Well,
creeping into white culture?
there's more and more white converts every day to Hinduism. It's becoming a global religion. Go on Hindu pages and see all the Hindu white. They have thousands of white Hindus that they post on these Hindu pages. They're so happy to have these white converts. Oh God, and black converts and Asian converts, but they care so much about the white converts. Just go to Hindu conversion groups, go to Hindu conversion pages, and see all the white people there.
Okay, I suppose for me, has anybody written about it?
Well, look it up. Yeah, there's the White Hindu. There's a blog called The White Hindu. Look up her blog.
No, I mean, I
I
don't
don't
know,
know. Look up The
the
White Hindu.
mainstream
She writes
media.
about it. The White Hindu is very popular, but I don't know any other besides mine. I had a White Hindu blog. I was a White Hindu with a blog, but she's very popular in the Hindu world. The White Hindu. Now she's not so popular because she's soft on Islam, but yeah, there's lots of white converts to Hinduism now, especially ISKCON has tons. They're kind of like almost Hindus, but
Oh, the Hare Krishna people.
yeah, they have lots of white, converts too, and they help Hindus, and not really, but it goes back and forth. But yes, whites are starting to go. The Russian government shut down the production of a Vedic center because they were getting too worried that Russian people are getting interested in the Vedas, and it's yeah, it's spreading. It's spreading. It's
Right.
becoming
So there is a conversion process, you say?
not really. No, you just study it and then you call yourself a Hindu.
Well, it sounds so fraudulent.
Well, it's Claire. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not going to work. And the
I mean,
rabbis
okay, how
are
does it work? Because, okay,
the
these
rabbis are
people.
because you just Claire. See, this is I already told you to do this and you didn't do it. Take secular Quranism and add Christian Science, add Carol Balzat, add whatever, and they're just taking Noahide and adding Hinduism. It's very easy, but like you refuse to even. You could do it with secular Quranism. You could say secular Quranism plus Hinduism. But I tried giving you the answer to this, and the Jews are smarter than you. They're just going to pick it up and they're going to say, take the Noahide laws, add Hinduism on it, get rid of what's not a Noahide compliant in Hinduism, and fool all the white people into Noahidism.
Well, I would just go to the Muslims and say, this is the danger. You're going to let it happen. You know, you should be
Yeah, it
able
is a
to.
danger. Well, the Muslims aren't doing anything about it besides I know they are converting white people and I know that they are having some success, but I don't think Muslims are clever enough to think that the rabbis are using Hinduism.
Well, there will be rabbis who don't like having anything to do with
Well, there's
Hinduism.
rabbis who don't like having anything to do with Islam too, but you know what? The smart rabbis use Islam. They use the imams and they use the gurus. If they're smart, so maybe they're doing it from both angles. They're going to use Hinduism and Islam, to conquer the West. And the thing is that, it's becoming more and more apparent how useful the Hindus are to the Jews, and they're too smart to just let that go. They're not you, Claire. They're not going to stand on their principles and say no. They're going to say, oh, look, what an opportunity we have to get the no-hide laws in the back door. Let's do it. Stop thinking you're dealing with
Okay,
simple.
so what exactly is the danger that you fear?
I've made it clear that they're using Hinduism to get the no-hide laws in the back door, and that's it. And they obviously are if the chief rabbi of Israel is proclaiming Hinduism, Noahidism. He didn't do that for no reason. He didn't do that so that Jews would remain and rabbis would be inert. He was basically telling rabbis, here, you have the goal to work with these people. I don't think you want to acknowledge this because it's a threat to secular Quranism, and it's just a new threat that I've just noticed, and I've never really discussed it this way before. But I think you see that the rabbis might be too clever, might be clever enough to use this, and you're just upset because now they can use Islam and Hinduism to spread Noahidism in the West, and you're not using anyone's religion to spread secular Quranism.
Well, I'm saying secular Quranism can be used by non-Muslims.
I know, but you're not really promoting that, and you're not taking the
I
time.
don't know how. Okay, how would I be? You're saying just be like Carol Balizette. That's what you're
No,
saying.
I'm not. I'm saying that just make secular Quranism with Carol Balizak characteristics, or Christian Science characteristics, or Jehovah's Witness characteristics, or Mormon characteristics.
Which are?
Just study the religion and weed out what's not secular Quranist, and just present it as a companion material.
And this will look, if the government adopts it, then everybody else will adopt it. So there's no
I
point
know.
go.
Well, well, okay. See, the Jews don't only have the government adopting the no-hide laws, but they have a plan to do it on the under. They are not just going for the top; they're also going for the bottom of the pyramid. Yes, they do want a bottom-up revolution. They do want Noahides on the ground. They are looking to make ground-level people into Noahides, and they're using religion to do it. So they're coming at it from both angles. Whereas you're just trying to go all the way to the top of the pyramid, and that's it.
Yeah, because the ordinary person just won't get it.
Well, then I'm sorry, Claire. Well, the rabbis are smarter than you, and this is why I'm rooting on them and not you.
Okay, so which is the cleverest rabbi doing
I
this?
don't. I think rabbis who are clever. I think rabbis who use Hinduism are dangerously clever because nobody would think of that. Nobody would think that it's coming from that direction.
I know that Doooovid was talking about this rabbi who's going to India on some freebie, probably to certify these Hindus or something. Do you remember him saying that?
No, certify them what to be Noahide?
Yeah. Whether they're
Wait, are you are
monotheist.
you are you are you? Did you get? Is this like conjecture, or did he actually say a rabbi's going over there to
I think
certify
he even
Hinduism?
said a name. I think he even said a name.
And he used the word Noahide.
Yeah.
Are
Or,
you
or,
sure he
or
used the? Why do I feel like Doovid wouldn't admit to something like this?
what, you think he's only inventing it?
Did he use the word Noahide? Yes or no?
I can't remember.
Okay, so then if you can't remember, I don't think he said that.
It was in his series of streams talking about him being a failure as a Jew. And I think it was the one with Zubaydah al-Arabiya, when it was on that stream anyway, because she came on and said that you're a Hindu, you're an idolater, and yeah, and that was when he mentioned that there was this rabbi going to India to uh, observe Hinduism in order to categorize it. So that was my memory of that exchange. But I don't think it's really going to get anywhere. Uh, and it's probably not intended to, because they're so wishy-washy. I
No,
mean,
Clever.
this Jew I
No,
talk.
Claire. You just don't want. You just don't want to admit the rabbis have a good idea, and you just want. You don't. You think about things the way you want it, and you don't look at things the way that what might work because it's more clever. You just, well, I don't want that to work, so it's not going to work, and then you don't prepare for that, and you don't even want me reacting against it because you know that that would give it attention and grow it. That's what's going on here, Claire.
I suppose I just can't take it seriously.
Well, you can't, but that doesn't mean other people can't.
Okay, well, I've been
This is
joining a
okay,
lot of
Claire.
no-hide
This
groups, and I don't take the people seriously, I
Well, this is
suppose.
like, well, you have this problem. This is like also, oh, people don't understand. It's like you don't care about the bottom of the pyramid because you're so disconnected from them and don't care about what they care about. And that's why you're like, well, let me just go to this tiny itty bitty elite all the way at the top and see if they listen to me. But it's not available for the lower masses, and no heightism is available for both. And just because you don't care what the lower masses want doesn't mean that what they want doesn't matter and can't get them somewhere.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's a spiritual hunger, which I'm saying will be addressed by the laws being the right kind of laws.
Okay, well, fine, don't go for the bottom of the pyramid. Jews are going for both the bottom and the top, and they're getting both of them, and you just don't. You can't get to the top, and you don't want to go to the bottom, and you don't care about the bottom, and
Well, I
so
do. I mean, I talk to, well, it's not like I go out of my way to avoid people. I mean, I talk to lots of people bumping along the bottom. I guess I just don't perceive it as a threat. And if
you
it
don't perceive
were,
anything as a threat, Claire. You don't. Nothing is a threat to secular Quranism in your mind. Like it's just going to be the way it's going to be.
well, I don't see anything that is a bigger idea than secular Quranism other than Islam itself. I
Well,
mean,
I
I
mean,
literally don't.
what that doesn't mean. You're very arrogant to think that the rest of the world it doesn't. What if other people are too stupid to see the value of secular Quranism and it can't happen because people are too dumb?
Well, okay, that would be a tragedy, but I suppose I still can't get round my head how these rabbis promoting no-hidism are, okay, they convert a few Hindus. I mean, I just don't see how it threatens secular Quranism.
It doesn't threaten secular Quranism because secular Quranism is nothing. It's secular. It is a threat to white Western civilization. Just because you're not afraid of it, you're not going to talk me out of not being afraid of it. You're not going to talk me.
Okay, you're afraid of no-hidism threatening what?
No,
Western
I'm
civilization? Is
no,
that what you're saying?
no. I just Claire, you cannot follow a conversation. You get lost all the time whenever I'm talking,
No, it's
and
very convoluted.
no, it's not convoluted. You're just you either purposely do it or you just there's something off where you just don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. No, when did I say that Noahidism would be a threat to Muslim civilization? My whole conjecture throughout this whole thing is that the rabbis can use Hinduism as a backdoor for Noahidism because nobody would suspect that and it's against white civilization. I never said like I don't know why you just would bring something up like that up that had nothing to do with anything I had to say.
Well, I still see it as quite convoluted, and I
Okay,
don't really
well,
get it.
they're obviously doing something with it because they're going around declaring it non-idolatrous. So, they
Because they're
obviously,
probably getting paid
by who?
by Hindus.
What? Hindus didn't pay them to get. The Hindus didn't pay them to get. No, this was instant. What do you think the Hindus read about the Noahide laws themselves and went running to Israel and said, "Certify us"? No, the rabbis went to Hindus and said, well, we have these Noahide laws and you should really follow them and blah blah blah. And the Hindus said, "Okay." Claire, you're trying to turn this into like, I mean, you're also
I'm
trying to
not trying to turn it into anything. I mean,
no,
if I could
Claire,
just sort of read
you're
a
trying to
report
discourage
about this sort of
you
thing.
you're trying to discourage me from getting uppity about it and warning people about it because that'll give it life and you are scared of it. So you're trying to be like, well, don't worry about that, Vincent. That can't happen. Stop talking about it.
I'm
Like,
not, I'm not, I'm not, I'm just trying to. Can you find me an article that isn't yours talking about Hindus and no hides?
I showed you the chief rabbi. Okay, Claire, the chief rabbi declared it Noahide. That's enough. I have that piece of paper, which I showed you. That's enough. They don't. What do you want? What do you want? Like them to come out tap dancing and saying they're Noahides? Like, there's obviously something going on.
Okay, well, I just don't see it.
Claire, okay,
I
well,
mean, I just
you're
want an
not going. Claire,
article.
you're
There's
not
no
going to convince me.
article. I'm sorry, maybe I lack the imagination.
Well, you're not
Okay,
going to.
okay, religious forums. Can a monotheistic Hindu or Sikh be no hide? The answer is yes and no, right? Everything's yes and no with these
Well, yes,
people.
and it works. Claire, if you think that the Jews are not going to use this in their arsenal to spread Noahide laws, then you're just not as clever as they are, and this is why I have no faith in you.
Well, obviously the ones who are going to do it will do it, but it won't come to anything.
Yeah, well, it's
Because
coming
the
to some.
moment it becomes interesting or big, the Muslims will get onto
Yeah,
it.
I know you're so. Oh, the Muslims are going to take care of everything. Like Muslims are not that smart. What makes you think that Muslims are going to think that rabbis are using Hinduism to take over the West?
Well, there's no sign of it.
Yes, well, excuse me, all these Zionist Hindus everywhere is a sign of
Okay,
it.
I don't see them. I never hear about them unless
Claire,
you're
I've been
talking
a Hindu
about
for
Vivek
10 years.
Ramaswamy.
Hindus make up 1% of America. So about 50% of them are right wing Hindus, and I would say 95% of those right wing Hindus are Zionists.
Okay, but
Okay, well,
that
that's a
that
threat.
that's just that I'm afraid that's just sort of mainstream thinking in the West. It's like, we all love Israel. It's part of our Judeo-Christian
No, oh,
heritage, and
Claire, are you not waking up to the answer? Did you know that people under 40, 65% of them don't want money being sent over to Israel in America? Did you know that?
yes, always complaining why our tax dollars going, but it needs Israel needs to be protected by America because it's an American
Okay, yeah,
protectorate.
okay, fine, Claire. Just deny that things are changing. I think you're starting. I think this is, I think that you're just living in the past and you're not moving with the trends in the future. And I think that
Well,
you're
I would like
starting.
to see an article to, so that, you
You need an
know,
art. You need me to prove that a lot of Hindus are Zionists. Do you need me to actually prove that to you?
I think most people who don't, uh, they would just be by default
No,
Zionists.
they're very pro-Zionist. They're not. They're very pro-Zionist. You don't have to
Okay,
be.
okay, okay. Apart from Vivek Ramaswamy, who else is there?
Claire, businessmen, doctors, lawyers, they're the most educated and richest class in America.
Okay, so that they are pro-Zionist and they want
Yes.
to, um, but America is a Zionist country.
No, it's 65% of people under. Okay, yes, you're right, Claire. Nothing's changing. Anti-Semitism's not spreading. We're just going to be in this.
No, the
We're going to be
official
slaves
policy of
to Israel
America
forever. You don't
is
even.
Zionist.
Oh, Claire, you know what? You're looking for excuses to deny that the world is changing, and America might not be Zionist for very longer, and you don't like to think about anything that's not
No,
right
I
here.
accept
No,
that it
Claire,
might
I've also
not
noticed
be.
this about you. You don't like to think anything that's, I'm practical too, but also I do think about today, right now, and what's happening absolutely right now. But
No, okay,
I
okay.
do also
Thank
think
you for
about future
mentioning
trends. Claire,
you.
yeah, you're right. No, Claire, let's end this because it's not right here, right now, today. So therefore, it
No,
doesn't.
I was going to mention an article in Foreign Policy magazine that did say things about, well, perhaps it's time to end our special relationship with Israel.
Yes, Claire. Yes, things are changing. Like, open your eyes and look for trends.
Yeah, but on the other hand, America is sending arms to Israel. So everything is yes and no.
Okay, well, it's starting to lean towards no, and but even if it's starting, I don't want. I want to wake up people to the threat of Hindu Zionism.
Okay, so, okay.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing.
Yes, I'm aware that you are doing that, but uh,
Well, I'm going to get back at all those Hindus that I helped who treated me like shit, if nothing else.
what's the worst thing they did to you, other than you finding out that they were talking behind your back?
Well, they're homophobes, they're misogynists, and they kind of didn't like reveal that to me, and I had to find that out through the back alley. And also, it's more of, hatred for myself for falling for them when they're not really hard polytheists and moral relativists.
I'm sure they don't think of themselves as moral relativists, do they?
They don't. Claire, yes, I just said they're not moral relativists. You do not know how to follow a conversation. I just said they're not moral relativists, and that's why I don't want to be part
You're
of
saying
them.
moral relativism is a good thing?
Claire, you don't even remember that this is my whole position. I think something's happening to your memory and your cognition, Claire, because you didn't used to be like this bad with this stuff.
Well, I guess I've never really understood your position. I just know you had a thing about no Hydism. You sort of want Hindus to take it, or you don't want them to do it, and now okay, you've taken against Hinduism, and you don't want them to adopt no Hydism,
They are. I don't care. They are adopting it, whether I want them to or not. They are.
and that's a bad thing.
If you can't understand that, never mind, Claire. I mean, you just said that after all these years of me talking with you, you don't understand my position. And if that's where we're at this point, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I think I've explained myself 1,000 times, and you've been able to follow conversations. And now you're saying you don't know my position, you can't follow conversation, and you can't remember anything I've told you. So either you're playing
No,
dumb.
because what you do is you say you want to promote it, and then you say you don't want to promote it. So it does
No,
get a
Claire, you
bit.
don't. I know. I've explained it. It's called accelerationism. I've explained acceleration to you 100 times that you don't know what it is. So never
I
mind.
know what that is, but so
Well,
do
that's
you
what
want
I'm
to
doing.
accelerate it or you don't?
I just said I'm an accelerationist, and you don't know what that word means. So
No, I do understand. So do you want to accelerate it or
I
you
said I'm an
don't you?
accelerationist. You obviously, if you're asking if I want to do it or not, and I said I'm an accelerationist, you don't know what the word accelerationist means.
You want to accelerate the adoption of no-Hydism, yes?
Yes, obviously.
Yes. So you want Hindus to adopt no-Hydism,
Yes, obviously.
yes. So why are you upset then?
I am, well, because Claire, that's a very, why am I upset? I'm against it. I'm just using it as a strategy. I think you don't have the IQ points for this, Claire. I mean, it's just you don't understand that I could be against something and accelerating it at the same time. And that just seems to be too difficult for you to understand.
If you are accelerating no-Hydism in Hindus, why would you be upset that they are adopting it?
Never mind, Claire. Never mind. I think that this is just beyond you. I think
I mean,
it's
Evelyn for you has
no,
turned up, so
no.
I,
It's
I wonder she
it.
agrees with you.
You're not really. Well, he said, Vincent, you found a wall. Yes, that this is this is yes, Claire. I don't think you see, like, I don't know if you're just being stubborn because of the topic, or
No, I have no skin in the game on
if
this.
you're becoming, or if you're starting to, like, suffer from cognitive failure. But I have, before this, yes, I've been bringing this up again and again, that you're not able to follow my conversations the way you used to.
I understand your position to be that you want to accelerate no-Hydism.
That doesn't mean I'm not against it, or it doesn't upset me that.
No, because it's an incoherent position.
No, Claire, you know what? You can have mixed emotions about something. You could, okay, I want it to spread because I don't like it. Because, but that's too complicated for you to understand. It's a
Yes, it
strat.
is. Yeah,
You don't
I don't
understand the
like it, but I
strategy of
want it to
accelerationism,
spread.
and I'm not explaining it to you because I don't think that you are in a position to understand it. You don't accelerate. You don't understand what the emotional, what the emotions behind accelerationism are. You don't have the emotional intelligence to be that complicated. It's not incoherent. It's a plot. People use it all the time, and it works. So,
When did it ever work in history?
well, it creates a backlash. Some people are happy that the gay rights are going so fast because it's going to make a backlash even faster. If you think that okay, you just do not understand what accelerationism is.
I mean, can you name a successful practitioner
Well,
of
I don't know.
accelerationism?
I've never, like, researched all that, but I think it's a relatively new idea too. I don't think people in the past were complex enough to think of that, and I don't think you're complex enough to think about that.
Okay, you got another question from Effluent.
I'm curious to hear how you address barriers. No, this is just a wall. I mean, you don't like accelerationism, so you're pretending not to understand it and trying to pretend it's incoherent. And, you're acting like, well, then you have to go after every accelerationist, not just me. You have to say all accelerationism is incoherent. So if that's your position, I think you're going to have a lot of enemies.
I thought accelerationism was what? It's like a white nationalist voting Democrat.
Yes,
That's an example, but it
yes.
hasn't worked so far, has it?
Well, you know what? Nobody's really done it that well. No one's. It's like this new theory that's not. People never practiced accelerationism before. It's like, and you don't like new ideas. Okay, yes, Claire. It's what a bad idea to try something new. It's never been done before, but you have nothing to lose, so why try it? But you're not. That's the other thing, Claire. You're not white. I don't think a white person would understand. I don't think a non-white person would understand accelerationism because it's too abstract. It's
I've just given you an example, like a white
no, but I don't.
nationalist
You wouldn't
voting
see the use of it. You
Democrat.
wouldn't see the use of it or understand
I
how
do.
it.
I mean, but
No,
it
you
hasn't
don't.
happened.
You think it's incoherent.
Yeah, because it was something Richard Spencer proposed, but it hasn't worked yet. I suppose
Because
that's
nobody's doing it. Because nobody. Claire, because nobody's doing it, and
because they can't
this is
because
your
they can't
other thing.
resolve
Something
the.
gets launched yesterday, and you're like, it's not working. Look, secular Quranism has been around for 15 years, and nobody's picked it up. You're very arrogant. You're not in a position to criticize other people.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the theory.
Claire, you are in no position to criticize anything.
I'm not even criticizing anything. I'm just saying I don't understand. It hasn't
Okay, well,
worked.
I understand it, and it's not
Okay. And,
coherent.
and, and, and you're just getting upset with me because you can't resolve the contradiction yourself.
It's not contradiction. Why are you the only one that sees a contradiction and all the other accelerationists don't?
Okay. I mean, you accelerate towards a
Claire, you're
brick
not
wall.
smart enough for this conversation. I'm sorry. I mean, you're not smart enough to understand accelerating something, even though you don't like it. You just don't get it.
Yeah, because I'm saying accelerationism is, I mean, the analogy would be you're in your car, you're accelerating towards a brick wall.
No, no, Claire, that's a dumb way of thinking about it. Let's drop this because you're just never gonna get it. You don't want to understand it because,
I am. That's why I keep asking you questions.
well, no, Claire, you're just trying to make it look foolish and dumb and like it's not going to work because it's not your secular Quranism. Because it's not your strategy, it's not going to work, even though nobody's a secular Quranist for 15
No,
years.
I'm just trying to get past this idea of accelerationism. I
I
know
know,
it's a
Claire, but you're
recent
not
thing.
getting it, and you don't want to understand it. I mean, you
I
don't
am.
want to.
That's why I'm asking you these questions. But
No, but when you,
okay, I get it that you're tired and you don't want to talk about it.
what's your fucking question that I've answered 50 times, but then you just don't get it?
Accelerationism and examples of it working.
I told you it's brand new and no one's really tried it before.
So you just want to try new ideas. I mean, I'm okay. I'm not denying that I'm trying a new idea, but is there something fundamentally incoherent about
Okay,
accelerationism?
well, you're the only one who thinks that.
Maybe there's a political philosopher who, uh, you know, has written a thesis about it. Maybe, but okay, I get it that you're tired and maybe don't want to talk about it anymore.
No, but you're just saying it's incoherent, and you're acting like it's not an. I just don't think that you're deep enough to be able to accomplish something like that, or to.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to be an
It's
accelerationist if.
counterintuitive thinking. It's counterintuitive thinking, and I don't think that you're fluid enough to have counterintuitive thinking.
Okay, I'm not an accelerationist. I
I know,
just,
but you also don't have counterintuitive thinking.
well, some people might say secular Quranism is counterintuitive. Not that I wanted to, not that I wanted to talk about it.
Well, do you think secular Quranism is counterintuitive? Because that wouldn't maybe you think it's counterintuitive.
It's sort of, fight fire with fire kind of thing, yeah.
Okay, that's different than being
Is
counterintuitive.
that is that a version of accelerationism?
No, if you were an accelerationist, you'd be promoting Islam. Well, no, because you're pro-Islam. If you were an well, I don't know what the threat to Islam is, but it's different. You would have what do you?
Well,
No,
liberalism,
you would
obviously.
accelerate liberalism. You would accelerate liberalism if you were an accelerationist in order for people to get scared of it to convert to Islam.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that.
I know, because you wouldn't do something counterintuitive like that.
Oh, because it's very dangerous.
Yes, but it is very dangerous, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't work.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a more what you see is what you get kind of person. Because obviously, if there's somewhere I don't want to go to, and I'm in my car, and the place I don't want to go to is a brick wall, I wouldn't accelerate towards it.
Yeah, but you, Claire, that's a car. To relate a physical car smashing into a bridge is different than
Yeah,
talking
okay,
about
okay.
I.
You use a different example. It's a place you don't want to go to because it's the edge of the cliff.
No,
So I
Claire.
don't want to be accelerating
Oh
towards the
God,
edge of the
Claire, if you're
cliff.
thinking about ideologies like in terms of cars and clips, I can't help you. I'm okay, Claire. You cannot understand. Let's talk about something else because I'm getting annoyed because you just do not have the capacity for to even understand what I'm talking about. If you're talking about driving a car off a cliff, using a clash of civilizations, to say that I want you don't understand about people reacting and reactions and there's people who do you know that there's people who think that actually behind all this liberalism in America there are Christians promoting it in order to regain Christian control. Do you know that?
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yes, there's people who think that. There's Norman Hobbes thinks that.
Well, he thinks quite a few crazy things, and he doesn't
Okay,
get a
well,
lot of
he's
things.
not the only one. I'm just saying that there are people who
I mean, the
believe.
flat earthers and people like that. I mean, there are a lot of people with
Well, we'll
ideas that
just see.
don't
I
quite
mean,
make
it's
sense.
a look. I look. It's I'm also it's desperate times call for desperate measures. I don't care. I will try something brand new. And you're just hoping it doesn't work and you're just, like you don't want the rabbi's plan to use Hinduism to spread Noahidism to work. So therefore it can't work because you don't want it to.
Um, I
You think
don't think.
anything that's not your plan won't work, Claire. You're just so sure of the failure of everything else except for secular Quranism
No,
that
no,
you
no, no, no. I'm certainly not going to say, oh, well, I'm just going to ignore other people's plans. I am trying to understand the logic of your plan. And I think you're just getting annoyed with me because you just realize that you can't explain
Yeah,
yourself.
I can explain it. You're relating it to a car driving off a cliff. You're relating the clash of two ideologies and accelerating one to accelerate the other. As it's about getting people to react, but you don't understand that.
You want people
To
to.
react, and you don't understand what that you
Well,
don't.
obviously, I want people to react and
I
feel
know, but you're not going
things.
to do it counterintuitively. Look, Claire. Look, it's a theory. I didn't come up with it. I didn't make it. It's a theory that I'm implementing, and you're saying that you think the theory is incoherent, and I'm just disagreeing with you, and that's it. But you're acting like
Don't you owe it to yourself to use an idea that has worked before?
no. I
Okay,
know, Claire.
okay.
Obviously, I'm
I mean,
different than you.
obviously, a
I'm
lot of
well.
ideas haven't been tried before,
I
but
know
you
you're a
need to
conservative.
make sure it's coherent
Okay,
in
well, let me
theory.
try. Well, I'm trying, Claire, and I really don't think you want me to try, but I am going to try
No,
whether you.
I don't mind you trying. I'm just, not quite understanding.
I
Okay,
know, I
okay.
know.
I just find
It,
it difficult. I mean, if I were to explain what you're trying to do,
I
I
don't
would
think
be in
non-white would
difficulties.
understand, Claire. I don't think you have the genetics to understand it.
Okay.
Yes, you were right. Most accelerationists are probably white and white nationalists or leftist, white leftists. I don't think a brown or black or an Asian person would sit there and say, wait, let me promote the ideology of my enemy, even if it just means by openly attacking it and drawing attention to it so that people convert to it faster, so that there's social reaction to that. I don't think you're clever enough to think of something like that. I mean, we're in a bad situation and we're coming up with a new idea because we're white, and you are this, Asian woman coming in and saying it's not going to work, it's stupid. And I think that
Oh, because it
actually
doesn't make sense to me and it
I
doesn't have a
know,
track
I know, and you
record.
don't want white people trying it because it might work, Claire.
No, I'm just saying it's dangerous to try something like that, accelerating
I know,
towards
well, white
somewhere you
people take
don't
more
want to
risk.
go.
White people take more risk, and also we have more ability, so we feel like we'll be able to handle it, and you're less capable, so you don't think you would be able to handle something like that, and you're less risk taking, and that's why non-white civilizations run like shit.
Well, I'm just saying, if there are lots of people's lives at stake, you shouldn't just try out experimental ideas without at least it working in theory. I think my idea works in theory, but yours doesn't. Well, it doesn't appear to work in theory because you're just getting annoyed when I asked you,
No,
all
you're
the
just okay. Now you understand that it works, but it's dangerous. Is it dangerous or
yes, yes, obviously it's dangerous.
okay? It's dangerous because yeah, well, it's dangerous because the reaction. Yes, it's dangerous, but Claire, part of being white is doing something dangerous and new in order to get yourself out of a bad situation. Actually, for the first time talking to you, I'm actually very. I can, I can see that, I actually see that you're dangerous because, you don't want you don't want white people trying new things, and we are the creative race, and we try new things, and you just don't want us thinking about new things to the point that you don't want people thinking about accelerationism because it's a new idea, a new white idea that might save
I
us. And you're
liked
like,
it
no,
for
I'm
you.
actually angry because it's a new white idea that might save us, and you're saying, don't try it, don't try it, don't try it, don't even talk about it. You know what I mean? It's incoherent. I
Yes,
find
I
it a
do
little
think it's incoherent, but you're
okay.
very welcome to talk
I
about it.
find it a little bit odd that it's a white invention and non-whites can't understand it. I
Well,
find
I
that
do
odd,
understand it, but I think it's incoherent.
or don't want to do it and don't want
No,
whites
I
to
don't.
try it. I think that you're trying to get in the way of white creativity.
Well, I mean, you can go and create new ideas, but even if they're fundamentally incoherent, I'm not
Okay, why
stopping
do
you
all
from
the white theorists
propagating
that
it
came up with this think that it's coherent? Why?
because
Why, Claire? Why do so many people? Why do so many theorists come up with this and not be able to see that it's incoherent?
because they're not logical.
Oh, so okay, so you're this one person, and most people understand what acceleration is. They might not agree with it, but they can understand where they're going with it, and you seem to be incapable of that. And you know what I mean? You're just saying, don't try something new. Just take my
I can't
package.
stop you from trying it. I'm just saying it's incoherent.
I know you're trying to discourage it. You're trying to malign it,
Well,
and
I'm just asking you for like, well, have you got an article about this thing that you're talking about? And then you get annoyed at
no,
me.
accelerationism, Claire. Look up accelerationism on your own. I mean, it's not.
No, no, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about these rabbis and these Hindus.
I sent you the fucking thing about. Okay, Claire. I know the chief rabbi of Israel declaring that Noahide is not enough. That doesn't mean anything to you. I cannot give you better information than that. I'm sorry.
Did you
I'm not
actually
going.
send me a link about Chief Rabbi declaring Hinduism to be?
They declared it monotheism, and yes, they declared that monotheism was. Go to hafnoahidewatch.blogspot.com that I've sent you 100 times, and it's not going to be enough for you because the chief rabbi is not good enough. He's not authoritative enough. Oh, this doesn't mean anything. Who cares? Like it's
Okay, so I see westernhindu.org. Hinduism and Judaism, mutual understanding. It's a blog, yes?
that's not mine. I didn't give you that. I didn't give you. Okay, I gave you the name of the blog and you just went to a totally different blog, Claire. You're not making any sense anymore. I gave you the name of the blog and you went to a totally different blog.
You gave me your blog, yes?
Yes, I gave you your blog and you're not on my blog. You went to some other blog.
Yeah, because I can't be using your sources. I need independent
I had the
verification.
links. I know this is the other thing that you do, Claire. I write in my blog and then there's a link to the Times of Israel and you say, I'm not reading your blog. Click on the Times of Israel link, Claire.
Okay, and which one?
I
Did you put
gave
it
you
in a private thing?
No, I gave you, go to hafnoahhydewatch.blogspot.com. I'm on my phone. It's hard for me to go to go to hafnoahhydewatch.blogspot.com. Go down to the second part of the article where the chief rabbi declares Hinduism to be monotheism, and then read through the back literature where it was said that this was done in order to make it compliant with the Noahide laws, but it is not yet fully compliant because they have to get rid of certain practices. It's Noahide compliant in theology, but it's not Noahide compliant in practice.
I think I am a little tired after all.
Okay, well, I'll let you go then.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you
bye.
for coming.
Yes, bye.
I think I really wanted a monologue. And I wanted to talk about what Stephen was talking about with Khaled about the birth rate. And Khaled was going on about what he could be doing, and I think Stephen was going on about, oh, I can't be saying this, I can't be saying that. And I was in the stream at the time, and I was saying, it's not even about Jews or Muslims or foreigners or whatever. It's really about whether Western men can be bothered to say that they need to start supporting marriage again. And the stark truth was that the answer was no. They couldn't be bothered to formulate arguments in favour of marriage and ask themselves what they might have to do to make everything work again. And this was really all I wanted to say. But nobody discussed it. And if that is fundamentally the problem of, not being bothered enough to want to talk about boring things such as marriage and the abolition of no fault divorce, to make marriage a good bargain again, whose problem is that? So if you, I mean, in all cases, even a child asking its parent to, buy it a toy or take it to a theme park, or, there have to be arguments saying, it would be nice, I deserve it, it could be, there would be reasons why you have to do it. And it seems that nobody is interested in talking about the reasons to do certain things. Elliot popped up. I can't remember what he was talking about now, but I sense a kind of unease about things as they are now, and really a reluctance to talk about things that matter. Now, the discussion with Vincent earlier, perhaps I'm being a little obtuse, but I just don't see the point of accelerating towards a place I don't want to be. But before I go, I will Google accelerationism. And there is a Wikipedia entry. Accelerationism is a range of revolutionary and reactionary ideas in left-wing and right-wing ideologies that call for the drastic intensification of capitalist growth, technological change, infrastructure sabotage, and other processes of social change to destabilize existing systems and create radical social transformations, otherwise referred to as acceleration. It has been regarded as an ideological spectrum divided into mutually contradictory left-wing and right-wing variants, both of which support the indefinite intensification of capitalism and its structures, as well as the conditions for a technological singularity, a hypothetical point in time where technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible. Okay, I guess I'm a bit tired. The name Nick Land came up. One of my accusers have accused me of using his ideas to destabilize society. So, well, I have been accused of being an accelerationist. But I would not like to identify myself as such. I think these are accelerationism is an idea that would be described as being too clever by half. I suppose in a way it's Marxist in the sense that it's something to do with historical materialism, because Marx was saying that there will be people who will get themselves behind ideas that oppose the other, and through the interaction of these groups in conflict, we will get to a workers' paradise. So it happens with in the right wing and the left wing. Oh, interestingly, it says that Charles Manson was a accelerationist. Yes, it was the helter-skelter thing. So it's like provoking a fight in order to start a war. It's not my kind of thing. Okay, I can't think of a single effective example of it. Mind you, Brenton Harrison Tarrant, the perpetrator of Christchurch mosque shootings that killed 51 people and injured 49 others, strongly encouraged right-wing accelerationism in a section of his manifesto titled Destabilization and Accelerationism. So I think it just means fighting, tit for tat. That would be a kind of accelerationism. So maybe it's not such a new idea. Obviously, if you wanted to start a war, then you have to attack the other side, and the other side attacks you, and you hit them back, and you keep hitting and exchanging punches until one of you is over and out. But I wouldn't recommend that at all. I prefer peaceful and legal means of making the same point again and again so that people know what it is that I'm offering. And I think it's still the only idea around. I am a little bit tired. Thank you all for coming. I mean, as far as Vincent's ideas go, I can understand what he's saying about living in a society where there are no women and the men just have artificial wombs to breed the next generation of gay men. And then they would have to, it would be like a game of musical chairs, I suppose. There will always be more men who want to breed than there are artificial wombs capable of accommodating their wish to have children. Because no gay couple would want to have twins, would they? Or triplets, or anything more than one, because they're so difficult to look after. It would be just overwhelming to have more than one. So in the perfect scenario of Vincent's utopia, or dystopia as others would call it, there would be a gay couple and they would have a child each, but they can't have it at the same time. And then what would happen? So that couple would have to decide between the two of them who is going to go first. They may not agree. There'll be so many problems of negotiation and arrangement and conflict and termination. But I think it's interesting working out how such a society might work, and I really hope somebody who writes science fiction will be prepared to apply his mind to this kind of scenario and imagine situations that could be the content or storyline for, I don't know, a television series or something. All right, I've spoken enough. Thank you all for listening. Oh, 7 people. But thank you for coming.